All right, I just wanted to record this real quick video. I had an ad pop up for me on Instagram, actually, and I thought it was very interesting. It said, "How to make your first sale in 9 easy steps." And, it sounds very, very attractive. And I clicked on it and I came to this website and I thought, these steps are neither easy nor are they exactly in the order in which you should do them. So I thought it would be helpful to everybody because I'm sure other people are seeing ads like this, and it can be very frustrating when you don't know where to actually start. So let's get into it. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Allie Thompson, and I help handmade sellers actually 2x, 5x, and even 10x their sales using a simple Facebook page. And I get a lot of people that come to me and say, well, I can't sell on Facebook yet because I don't have a website yet. And, you know, the desire to have that polished web presence with a website is very strong. And you're seeing advertisements all over the place, like the one that I saw on Instagram that brought me here, uh, telling you you need a website, you need a website, you need a website. And so I think Squarespace, I mean, the ad that they had was smart. I clicked on the ad. I'm like, all right, tell me in 9 easy steps. And it's not that their advice is all bad. I just want to give you guys some clarity and a little bit of context to what is actually being recommended here. Because it could seem like this all makes absolute sense. But when we go through it, I think you're going to see where they're kind of missing some things. So the article here is How to Make Your First Sale, a step-by-step guide on setting up an online store and making your first sale. Now, I will say, caveat, Squarespace is not a bad website platform. If you have a local business, a service-based business, it's not necessarily the best place to go if you have an e-commerce business. And the reason why I got this ad was because I was actually on Squarespace the other day setting up or doing research for a website that I'm actually going to be working on for a client. And that's why they're retargeting me. It is not a great e-commerce solution. I still recommend Shopify. I think Shopify is the absolute best place to go if you are looking for a website, if you're even ready for a website yet. Okay, so let's go through their 9 easy steps here. So the first is set up your online store. Now, I don't know if you guys remember the old show Seinfeld, and I remember specifically an episode, and it got kind of famous, where this woman is like, I was walking down the street and I met this guy and yada, yada, yada. I got a new car. And they're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, what happened during the yada, yada, yada? Here they're like, set up your new store. There's a lot of yada, yada, yada there. And especially with their advertisement of the 9 easy steps to making the sale, this is not necessarily easy. Now, it's not necessarily super hard either, but it's not just a matter of just put up a website. If you don't really understand what you need to have on the website, what pages you should have, how to write your product descriptions, what sorts of photos should you be using, what should your homepage look like, until you understand what that needs to look like, you can spend a lot of time just spinning your wheels creating a website and spending a lot of time creating a badly built website, and quote unquote an ugly website, right? If you don't have the guidance and the advice on how to pick a template, pick a template, but a lot of templates will actually reduce your sales. Just because it's an option on these sites does not mean it's going to help you actually sell more product. So they just kind of skip over, like add a product description. Well, how do you write a product description? And a lot of people get stuck on this step. And this is one big reason why I tell people, don't focus on setting up your website just yet. Focus on sales first. You don't need a website to make sales. And in that case, we're going to jump to the second point, connect a payment processor. This is fantastic advice, is to have a payment processor. It does not have to be through a website. You can use something as simple as PayPal or as Square. So if you set up at local shows, at craft shows, you probably already have a Square card reader to accept credit card payments. If you don't totally get one, it is easy and free to get. Of course, they do charge you processing fees, but it's super, super easy to use. And when you're selling online, all you have to do is simply send somebody an invoice. When you flip the script on everything that they're telling you to do here, you'll have people coming after you asking you, hey, can I buy? Versus you coming after other people and saying, please buy from me, right? So when somebody comes to you and says, hey, I want to buy that thing, you don't need to send them to a website. All you need to do is send them an invoice through PayPal or Square. They get the invoice in their email inbox. They click on the button to pay it. They enter in their credit card number. Everything is secure. You don't have to worry about dealing with credit card issues. Everything goes through Square or PayPal, and you get paid. And it's that quick and easy. You do not need a website to have a payment processor. It says go live. I know what they mean is to make the website live. But again, you don't know. Let me back that up. You don't know if what you've put together in your website is going to be effective. And for so many of you watching here, I have had clients come in. I have had a lot of clients come in and say, oh, I already have a website. And after working with me for 1 month, 3 months, whatever it is, they say, crap, I have to redo the entire thing. Until you understand what it is you're actually trying to accomplish with the website, as when you have a good product focus, if you're going to put up a website and put up 6 different product categories, I can guarantee you will get very few to low to no sales. And you'll probably have to be redoing that website in a short period of time in order to make sales on it in the future. Or you're just going to sit there and spin your wheels with it, pay the monthly fee month after month after month after month, and it's not going to make you any sales. So no, don't go live with your website if you don't know what your product focus is, if you're not clear on who your customer is, and if you don't already have an audience to sell to. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I'm going to flip this and say go live is fantastic advice if we're talking about going live on Facebook. Going live on Facebook is an excellent thing for you to do on your Facebook page to build know, like, and trust and build desire for your products. So we're going to flip this instruction and just interpret it how we want to. Here it says add a discount. You may want to try offering a discount to new customers visiting your website. While this isn't overall a bad strategy, this is good for collecting email addresses and that sort of thing. There's this misconception that in order for people to buy from you, you have to offer a discount. And a lot of my clients actually increase their prices and do not offer any discounts at all. And they are completely booked up, and they should probably be increasing their prices as well. Adding a discount is what you do in a moment of let's back that up. If you're adding a discount out of desperation to try to get somebody to buy from you, you're going about it all wrong. If you're adding a discount as an incentive to collect an email address, on your website itself, and you're getting something else out of the deal. So you're getting an email address in exchange for a discount. That can be a really good strategy. But if you're adding a discount saying, boy, if I give them 15% off, I'm sure that will do it. I'm sorry, it's not going to do it. You're missing too many steps along the way. Until you build desire and demand for your product, no amount of discount is going to get you the sales that you want. And you're just giving your money away to desperately beg and bribe people to buy from you. And that's not a good strategy. The next is boost your online store's SEO. Again, not a bad thing to say, but search engine optimization, you guys, if you have a keyword worth searching for, meaning if you sell candles and you want to show up for the word candles on Google, there is no stinking way you are going to show up by making a couple little adjustments on your Squarespace or your Shopify or whatever website. Your competition is so fierce. Any good keywords that are out there are pretty locked down. My only exception to this is if you sell mostly to a local market, if you're a local business and people actually do search for your product locally. So I live in Sandusky, Ohio. If somebody wants to buy pizza in Sandusky and I sell pizza, SEO is still very achievable for me. Good SEO is still very achievable for me. If I sell candles and I want people from my town to buy them, that SEO really isn't worth anything because nobody's really looking up candles in Sandusky, Ohio, right? We live in a worldwide market. They're looking for candles anywhere. They have no idea that they should be specifically looking for my town. And showing up in the search engines, your business name showing up in the search engines is no big deal. That's good. If your business name is unique enough, it's going to happen naturally. And there's whatever. It's not that big of a deal. And very few people are going to be searching for you if they don't know about you. I'm in a big favor of search engine optimization in a lot of different ways. But it should not be the first thing you're doing. It shouldn't be the fifth thing that you're doing. It shouldn't be in front of the things that are below it. It's a long-term strategy. It takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of research. Companies will spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this right. And for us to think with our tiny little stores, with our tiny little products, I mean, not to denigrate or anything. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that we are small potatoes compared to the big players. And this is not an area where we're going to win very easily. So definitely when it is time for you to put up a website, you should have search engine optimization in mind, but also put it in its proper place and make sure that you get some training on this, so you know what to actually optimize for, where you might actually have a fighting chance. There are things you can do with SEO way beyond your website itself, to use other websites to get shown up on first page of Google. Those are advanced strategies. And again, that's slow. That's a very slow process. And if you're like a lot of people, you want to be making money more quickly. So let's get there more quickly. Then we have number 6 here is get the word out. This just kind of cracks me up. It's like, okay, you've done all this stuff. Now go and look for your customers. Now it does say, be sure to integrate your business's social accounts. But guys, the social accounts should have been first. That's what I'm saying here. The social accounts should have been first. Now, I recommend Facebook. I think Facebook is the best. Instagram is great. TikTok is great. Pick a social media platform, build an audience, create desire for your product so that when you get to step 6, you actually have people to get the word out to. See, what I don't like about the framing of all of this, if they said, here's how to create your website, that's fine. But if they're saying, here's how to make your first sale, you should have been making sales way before you had a website. Way before you had a website. So what I don't like about lists like this is it makes people think that they have to go through steps 1 through 5, which is a lot of yada, yada, yada in there. Boost your online store's SEO. There's a lot of yada, yada, yada there. There's so much that they are not telling you. Set up your online store. There is so much that they are not telling you. Add a discount, cutting yourself off at the knees from the get-go. Then they want you to get the word out. You've got to build the social presence first. You have got to focus on an audience first. If you don't focus on audience first, Who are you going to send to your website? How are you going to make sales on your website if you don't have an audience? And even worse, what I've seen is people will have a terrible product idea, or they're offering way too many products, and they build this website and they go through everything and they haven't built the audience on Facebook for proof of concept. They don't have proof that people actually want to buy the thing that they're selling. So they've gone through all of this just to then see whether or not somebody's going to buy. And there's a lot of sunk costs there, and it can make you hold on to an idea that's not working for way too long because you've put all of this effort in. You should build your social first, get your proof of concept first, see that people are interested, they're willing to buy it, even if you're invoicing them through PayPal or Square or whatever, you're invoicing them, but now you've got some proof of concept. Now yes, people do like what it is that I'm offering. I have an audience of people that are excited to see more. They're highly engaged with me. I've built desire for my product. I've built know, like, and trust with my audience. Now I'm ready to take it to the next step. Now you can put in all the work into a website and into search engine optimization and all of that. But if you did 1 through 5 first, just to find out in step 6 that nobody wants what you're selling, or you're not able to build a following on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and then you think, okay, now I have to figure out this part. We're 6 months down the road by now, 9 months down the road, and you haven't made a sale yet. That's just crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Now you're out there looking for how do I get people to, how do I drive traffic to my website from social media? When the first question you should have asked was, do I have a viable product that people are willing to spend money on? And the second question would be, can I build a social media presence and get people highly engaged and build desire for that product? Those should be your first couple of questions. All right, so let's just move on here. Start building an email list. I think everybody should start building an email list as soon as they can. However, if you don't have a website, that can be a little bit difficult. And I've also found that the technology to do this is a bit beyond people sometimes. It's not that it's that hard. It's that people get distracted with, okay, I have to build an opt-in form for my email list. And they should really be focusing on building up the social media. Social media is kind of like an email list. People are giving you permission to have a conversation with them. So when somebody likes your Facebook page, follows you on Facebook, they're giving you permission to show up in their newsfeed. So it's like email light. Having said that, if you're getting email addresses and you're making sales and you're getting people's email addresses, start building that list right away. So that when you actually get that following where people are on your Facebook page, it'll be easy for you to say, okay, I'm doing a giveaway, or here's where to sign up to be informed when I have new products, and that sort of thing. You can then send that to your followers and you can build a list fairly quickly from there. So I don't, they have this further down on the list. I think it should actually be higher than some other things because, email lists are extremely valuable. But I definitely put it after building a social media following, simply because too many people get stuck on that list, on the email list building, and they still haven't figured out their proof of concept. They still haven't figured out if people are willing to rally around them, follow them, engage with them. Then they have drive traffic to your website. Yada, 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 drive traffic to your website. And I hear a lot of people saying things like that. This is like how to run ads. Running ads to a product-based website to try to sell a physical product is extremely difficult. And I just recently heard somebody say it takes most big companies that do this professionally, that understand Facebook ads, it can take them up to 6 months to find a profitable offer on their website that they can drive ads directly to. So not just the offer, but testing hundreds, if not thousands, of different versions of that ad before they can find one that's profitable. You know, you and I don't have that time. We don't have those man hours, and I don't even have the money to test on that scale, right? So running ads to a website just to drive traffic to your website, you're going to waste a lot of money and flush a lot of money down the toilet. If you don't know what you're doing. And most of us don't know what we're doing. I do not run ads directly to my website because it is extremely difficult to make that profitable. And again, they make it seem like, oh, and then all you have to do is run an ad. Yada, yada, yada. Like there's so much more to that. There's entire training programs. I have a friend right now that paid $10,000 to be in a YouTube ad training program. And it's going to pay off for him, but he had to learn so much about marketing and understand so much about his business to even get to the level where he can be profitable running YouTube ads. And then finally, it says use analytics to gain insight. I find analytics only helpful in the fact that it can show you some trends, but until you get traffic, until you have the website, like this is probably the least important thing. And they do have it, to their credit, they do have it number 9 on the list. But this is probably the least important thing on the list. Analytics in some ways are extremely important. But some people get hung up on, ooh, I got this many unique visitors. Okay, but how many sales did you make? Like that's the analytic I'm worried about. How many people bought? I do care a little bit about conversion rate on the website itself, but only a little bit. You can manipulate conversion rate very, very easily by running a promotion on your page, especially the types of promotions that I teach in my higher level program. But you know, and that's going to manipulate what your conversion rate is on the site itself. I care more about email conversion rates and analytics on email than I do the website itself, but it can give you some idea of these are the pages most followed or most viewed. But again, that can be manipulated. If you share a link somewhere and everybody goes there to see, you know, your raspberry candle, and then you look at your analytics and say, ooh, my raspberry candle is very popular. Well, no duh, you sent a bunch of people there. So, you know, again, analytics, you got to know how to read them. They're less important than a lot of people push analytics, and I get it. I understand why. But when you get caught up in the analytics and you don't actually look at how do I make the sale, you know, how do I make my sale number higher? Then you can end up spinning your wheels and getting kind of stuck in analytics. So that's it. I just wanted to create this video to give you guys a little bit of insight of how I feel about lists like these. I think I made that clear. And the actual steps that you want to do to make your first sale. If you want to make your first sale, I recommend you join my 5-day Facebook sales challenge and free training. The link will be in the description of this video, wherever this video may be found, either on YouTube or Facebook. In the challenge, we show you how to actually engage your followers in a way that makes them want to buy from you. Builds know, like, and trust and makes them want to buy with you. And it helps you get Facebook's algorithm on your side. So you're not always fighting against the algorithm. You're getting organic views to your posts, not boosting posts in order to get people to look at your posts, which Facebook is more than happy to do for you, but that's the subject of another video. But just check for the link, join my 5-day challenge, and I will see you guys next time.